All right, welcome back, and thank you so much indeed for staying with us here on Morning Live. We're still coming to you live from the University of Johannesburg. We're here at Kingsway campus in Auckland Park, just around the corner from our studios in Johannesburg. Well, basically, part of the reasons why we're here, we saw queues yesterday piling up, prospective students queuing in their large numbers. So it's a mixture of students coming in here, those who had not applied before time, those who had applied and had been provisionally admitted to the university, and those who were admitted but just wanted to make sure that things are still in order for us. And in the midst of everything, we've also seen a scuffle breaking between the security guards and some students here yesterday. But just to talk to us about how things are looking, more so after the call that was made by the EFF to encourage students to walk into tertiary institutions, more after the announcement by President Jacob Zuma of a free fee higher education. Let's just have a conversation with the Registrar of the University of Johannesburg, Professor Kinta Burger. Prof, good morning to you. Thank you so much for coming through, and compliments of the new year.
Thanks also to you.
Prof, let's start with the queues. Yesterday afternoon as I was driving, I saw queues, a large number of students piling up here. What was really happening?
Yesterday was the first day of our registrations, and as you already pointed out, the queues was a mix of students that have already received their admission status, confirming their admission status, but also I think it was longer than in previous years because of the expectations of those that have not applied yet, that there may be space available. So we communicated yesterday again that we have an online system available to those that have not applied to check which programs are still open. And you know, it's an easy system. They can just enter their ID number and it will open the programs for which they qualify and for which there are still spaces available. But of course, you know, when they see a queue, they think maybe those in the queue will take their place. So we also had to address that sort of anxiety. Yeah, I think overall there were about 19,000 that could log an inquiry on our web, and then also many of them access the call center, which also provide that access to the same process if they don't have access to a computer.
All right, we're going to touch on your online system just now, but in terms of provisions, I mean, we know the announcement that was made by President Jacob Zuma in December of free higher education, the call by the EFF to encourage students just to walk into tertiary institutions. Have you made any provisions? Because I know that applications, the closing date was last year already. Are you making any provisions and exceptions for those who had not applied but would want to further their studies this year?
Yeah, I think the advice that I would give to those is to use the system, because there are still programs, but the popular programs are filled up more quickly. So we will have this system open for the rest of the week, and those that can't access it immediately don't need to stress, because it's not a first come first serve. We will assess all those that have applied through this system at the end of the week, and then also, you know, there was communication also from the Department of Higher Education about the Central Application Clearinghouse, which will provide a consolidated opportunities for students from all the institutions. So I think that is another advice that we can give. And then also there are a number of short learning programs that students can take. So if they don't now get access, because as you pointed out, the applications already closed last year, and just at UJ we've received 115,000 applications for 10,500 spaces. So there's a high demand for places. And you know, I think the queues just show that there's really a demand for quality higher education, and that's something that we need to address at the national level.
There isn't really much happening now in terms of students. I don't know if they'll be coming in later, or they probably heeded your call not to come in here in person but to log their applications online. But I spoke to some of them when I drove past yesterday, who were basically saying that we had applied on time but we have not received any feedback from the university. What happens in such a case for those who are watching now?
Yeah. No, we already sent out an SMS and the email to all those that have applied last year. In many instances they will say perhaps they haven't received yet a firm admission, but that they're on the waiting list. So I also received, and I dealt with personally with a number where they said, I haven't received yet confirmation. And I said, but your feedback currently is you're on the waiting list and that we will contact you later. So those that are on the waiting list, they should not come here, stand in a queue. We communicate by email and by SMS, and we will inform them once a space becomes available.
All right. And there was a meeting between the Department of Higher Education yesterday with the different representatives from the different tertiary institutions, and you were telling me earlier on that your Vice Chancellor also attended that
Yes.
meeting. Do you have feedback as to what transpired?
Well, we will meet now at 7:30 to discuss that. But I think it is about how to implement now this new funding model. And again, we are awaiting now what the process will be. But in the meantime, we've started here at UJ, and we will also communicate to those that have applied, that have now been placed in a program, and falls now in this new category of funding between 122,000 to 350,000. We will communicate that process soonest.
All right. A quick one on this, Prof. The system. There were reports that the system was down. There were reports that the system was very slow yesterday. What is happening? Because I know SRC also suggested that applications should be submitted manually. So how are things looking now? What happened yesterday?
Now I can confirm that the system was slow because there was extremely high traffic, huge influx, and the SRC colleagues they assisted us, in also communicating that please be patient. It's not the first come, first serve. The system will be open for this whole week. So we are grateful for that support. And the colleagues have worked hard on last night to ensure that it can accommodate this now extremely, extraordinarily high traffic that we received yesterday.
In terms of security, is it tight enough? There was a scuffle that broke between security guards and students yesterday. A quick one.
Yeah, there was a scuffle, and the SRC supported us to making sure that the students in line standing there are being attended to. But then there were also some persons that tried to disrupt the process and to instigate, and so we had to remove one of them, and we escort from campus.
All right, Prof, we'll leave it at that due to time constraints, but thank you so much indeed for talking to us.
Thank you to you.
Thank you very much. Professor Kinta Burger is the Registrar at the University of Johannesburg, talking to us about the situation that unfolded yesterday and the way forward. So if you have not applied, you need to go online. They even have Wi-Fi hotspots here in campus, so you can just log on to their website and submit your application. All right, we're taking a quick ad break. There's still so much more to come. We have the SRC from this university who will be talking to us. Stay tuned.